Hey guys, welcome to the We Need to Calm Down podcast. I'm Devon,
And I'm Joe.
and this is a show where we talk about all things Taylor Swift.
That's right. This is the show where two friends finally get to let their dedication to Taylor Swift, our favorite singer, everyone's favorite singer. That's right. Even if it's not yours, it's yours. Fly.
We'll be discussing everything from song breakdowns, Taylor news, and our insane fan theories. But before we go into any of that today, we have a fan of Taylor Swift's who's been in some headlines lately. Her name is Olivia Rodrigo. She is a big Taylor fan, and Taylor is a fan of hers as well. And she had just released the song Driver's License. Joe, did you listen to it? That was your homework. That was the one
Was
thing.
that really my homework?
Well, no, but I wanted you to listen to it.
I I feel so bad because
So,
you sent me a text about it like last night or something,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, that's cool, and I got the notification that Taylor tweeted about it. I was like, oh, that's cool, but I didn't do anything.
So I believe she came out with the song. I want to say it was 2 days ago or even yesterday. It's a very recent song. And so Olivia released it, and it's about potentially, allegedly, about this drama between her and this guy, Joshua, who she co-stars with on the show High School Musical, the musical, the series.
Oh my
Basically,
gosh.
she was dating this guy who was a little bit, I mean, she's I think 17 and he's 19. So people are kind of like, you're giving the guy slack for like not wanting to date a minor, which like I understand, but at the same time, she's just heartbroken. She was kind of seeing Josh. They were never official, and then all of a sudden they haven't posted in a bit. He has like a couple's costume with Sabrina Carpenter for Halloween, and she posts a picture of her and her friend with the shirt saying dump him, and she comes out with this emotional, heart-wrenching song called Driver's License, basically saying, you know, I like you taught me, like basically he taught her how to drive, and now she drives past her house or his house alone. Let me get some lyrics up. All right. I
Oh
got
my
my I
gosh.
got my driver's license last week, just like we always talked about, because you were so excited to finally drive up to your house. I know you're probably with that blonde girl who always made me doubt, which is Sabrina. She's so much older than me. She's everything I'm insecure about. Um, and she goes, I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. And she's just belting this.
Yo.
And then guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me, because he wrote a song basically saying he would like wait for her. And she goes, you said forever. Now I drive alone past your street. And then we get to the bridge of the song, which gives me all the Lord Taylor vibes I could ever want. It's just red lights, stop signs. I still see your face in the. Oh my God. Yeah. And
Oh my gosh, there's a curse word in it
I
too.
still effing love you, but yeah. Oh my God. You really need to listen to that song.
Listen, all the colors in it too, red, white, blue,
Mm-hmm. And so,
this sounds right up my alley.
but
You've
so, yeah.
destroyed me.
So the connection with Taylor is that Olivia is like this huge fan of Taylor, and we can finally see some artists, like younger artists, beginning to emerge that are directly influenced by her, just like Conan Gray and her both. And on her own mother's birthday, Andrea's birthday, she replies to an Instagram post, like she comments on it saying, and I said, what was it? And I said, that's my baby and I'm so proud or something. And that's the same thing that her mom said about her when she was younger.
Oh.
And it's just like,
You love to see it.
yeah, you
You
really
love
do.
to see it. I hate what kind of what is the genre? I'm assuming pop.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
a slow pop ballad. It
That
really
sounds
it really sounds like Lord in the Bridge. And
that sounds
I'll send
perfect.
you a video. Someone layered it with Getaway Car,
Of course they did.
and so it just hits.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, you just destroyed my night. So
It's all over TikTok. It's like the number one song. On the charts, it was like right behind Taylor Swift's two new bonus tracks, and then
officially
it,
out.
and now it overpassed it, and now it's
Did
number
it
one.
really?
I think so.
Look at her go. I think yeah, I saw. Yeah, she was number 3 behind Right Where You Left Me and It's
Yep.
Time to Go. And
Number one
she
song on
passed. That's awesome.
TikTok. Yeah,
Wait,
she's
is that a thing? Does TikTok have like
like your trending songs, yeah. Like
really? I
your
didn't know
trending
that.
sounds. Yeah, I mean that's how people kind of identify trends and stuff like that.
That's cool. I didn't know that and learned about TikTok on this show.
Hmm. So that's enough about Olivia. We love her.
That's
To
awesome.
see
I
it.
love that.
Hmm.
So this week for Taylor news specifically, though,
Hmm.
what are we doing, Devin?
So we will be breaking down track 2 off of Evermore, which is Champagne Problems. This is the song that Joe didn't really understand at first, so we're going to do a little bit of a between the lyrics sped up version where I kind of explain what the song is to him, and we'll just go from there. But so let's go into some quick facts about the song.
This blew my mind. So we didn't do a rankings last week. We're still they didn't change enough for us to warrant doing them. We might do another one this week. So check tomorrow because I think it might have changed from then from us because I'm listening to some new music, so going back would change it. But I can't fathom because you were so high on this song when it came out. This was your mirror ball. Apparently,
Mm.
like this is your mirror ball. Like I ranked it at 7, you ranked it at 9.
I mean, that's only two spaces,
That's not
but
too bad, but like that's also like low. Like
I
this is
know.
like
Well,
in
out
your
of
top 5, I
17.
thought.
I mean, it's
That
still top 10 out of
it's like
17.
that's like that's like bottom half.
I mean, it's hard because there's so many really good songs. I think
You're not
this
wrong.
this one was such a top runner for me at first, and then I think as I started to go into other songs, the more it kind of dropped. Same thing with like No Body, No Crime.
Happened with Mirror Ball in the last
Hmm.
episode or the last one too, so that makes sense. I think this
Yeah.
song was always kind of middling for me, which was like not like bad, not to say like it's bad middling, like it's still one of the upper echelon songs, which every song on this album is an upper echelon song. It's just like there are others that just like I prefer to listen to,
Hmm.
but I've had it on repeat all day getting ready for this episode, and it's good. God, it's so good. Like
It's really good. I think the lyrics and the story outweigh the production levels on this song and just like the
I guess yeah.
instrumentals. I think I like the story more than the song. And typically I'm a bigger instrumental fan.
Mm.
So that's why it might be a little bit lower than some other songs for me.
That would be a huge thing if I ever like the music before the lyrics, because I'm the biggest
Hmm.
lyric and story head imaginable. I love the story in this song. I love the just the writing style that she has and puts out in this song. So let's get into some more quick facts. We like I said, I ranked it at 7. Devin ranked it at 9.
Hmm.
Could change by tomorrow, but for as of the last power rankings we put out, that's where it was for us.
Yeah, I have to sit down with that. So during the week ending December 26, 2020, Champagne Problems debuted at number 21 on the Hot 100. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see our little pictures from the lyric video, which is just a video of a glass of champagne with a ring being dropped into it periodically throughout the song, just bubbling up. Very simple image. The song was written by Taylor and William Bowery, aka her lovely boyfriend Joe, and it was produced by Taylor and Aaron Dessner. Fun fact about the song is there are no pronouns that determine any kind of sex besides just a partner being female, which I thought was just an interesting tidbit.
So the narrator is female.
No, so
That's all we get.
the narrator we don't know the gender of, but it's the partner of the narrator is female.
We don't, because what a lovely wife she would have made. It's a shame she's effed in the head. Isn't that not referencing the narrator?
Yes, yes, opposite. Okay, narrator is
Okay.
female, and we don't
Yeah, we
know the
don't know the
partner.
partner.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I do like that though. Like, because Taylor, I think does like in her head has
Hmm.
like both of these characters gendered very easily, but I think like in a way she's like intentionally leaving some of it out if it doesn't have to be said, just so it can reach a wider range of audience, and I think
Hmm.
that's great, and more people can relate to it, which I think is an awesome. Just like it's a small songwriting thing, but works really well for her.
I
I like it.
agree.
We also like conferred about this. Katy Perry and Nick Jonas both have songs called Champagne Problems. I listened to Katy Perry's today. Not a fan. It's very different though. It's very different. Very upbeat.
Hmm.
Not about weddings or anything like that. So I think Taylor just took the name because she liked the name. I guess a lot of these pop stars are hearing this. Have you heard this term before this song?
No, so let's go into that.
All
So
right.
what even is a champagne problem? I hadn't really heard of it. I think when you think about it from first glance, I believe we thought it was like alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
We thought like,
Well,
oh, a champagne problem, it's like an alcoholic.
from like a literary perspective, like you can kind of understand like champagne is a high class, a quote unquote high class luxury,
Hmm.
and a problem like just like a first world problem is what I would immediately equate it to.
Yeah.
Just fancier way of saying it. But what is the actual definition?
So Urban Dictionary is the only place that I found like a semi reasonable definition. So they said a problem or dilemma that, when compared to issues of poverty, national disasters, and war, are not all that big of a deal, but nonetheless provide individuals with issues that must be dealt with, or so on so, or quote unquote, a trivial middle class grievance.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Mhm.
first world problem, more
Yeah.
or less, but like a much cooler way,
Hmm.
kind of like to me like a Fall Out Boy way of saying that.
Just imagine, you won't remember all my first
First
world.
world problem.
Like
Oh
it's
my god,
not.
I want that remix. Like we have the John Mulaney Hush version of Mirrorball. I want the first world problems remix of Champagne Problem.
Oh, there
It's the
was a
same syllables too. It works.
there was another John Mulaney one. Um, oh, something with my wife. Oh, it was Willow, but instead of saying "that's my man," it was replaced with "that's my wife." That's my wife.
I'm so here for this Venn diagram of fans.
John
Oh my
Mulaney
gosh.
fans and the Taylor Swift fans, and there's this beautiful middle.
That's so funny. I love that. I have to look that up after this.
Yeah.
All right. So, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So Taylor has spoken about the song and said the song is the one where longtime college sweethearts had very different plans for the same night, one to end it and one who brought a ring. So it's whoo,
It's a
juicy,
hard
juicy.
one, man.
So this couple was together throughout college, potentially a long time afterwards because it's longtime sweethearts. So that kind of places some things that we'll talk about in the lyrics later. And when asked, I think it was in the Apple Music um, interview with Zane Lowe, he's like, "So you wrote this with William Bowery?" And she's like, "Yeah, Joe and I really love sad songs. We've always bonded over music. So it was like, we write the saddest ones. We just really love sad songs. What can I say?" It's like, just how cruel.
I love it. I love them together. I love that they're
Mhm.
secure enough that they can write this. I like that Joe can go, "Yeah, but what if the guy proposed and the girl said no?" And he can float that as an idea to Taylor and she can be like, "Let's write a song about it."
Yeah, it's just, wouldn't that suck? Yeah, it's
Oh my
sad.
god, it would suck so much. Let's write more about how much it would suck.
She's also said about the song, "I'm so excited to one day be in front of a crowd when they all sing, 'She would have been made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's effed in the head.'" I love a good sad song. Like, I just
Uh,
can't imagine what kind of setting everyone's just
I
yelling.
want to when I go to whatever concert she ends up coming out with next, whatever that is, I am going to find my nearest parent in the crowd and stare at them the whole time because I want to be there when their daughter or son, who knows, I'm
Mhm.
there, screams what a shame she's after the head, and just see the stern look from the mother.
Just like, whoa, we are at a Taylor Swift concert. What happened?
That happened to me. My first concert my mom ever took me to, because she thought it would be a quote unquote safe concert, was
Mm.
Nickelback.
Uh,
And they are not a safe band. It was a lot of like, I like turning to my mom like, I didn't know they were like this. I'm so sorry.
wait. Your first concert was Nickelback?
Not proud of it. Not proud of it.
Why am I
Nope.
just learning this?
Nickelback, Saving Abel, and Seether at the Spectrum
Oh wow. Okay.
in Philly. Yeah,
Never made it
it
ever.
was good. I liked it, but yeah, not the best for a first concert.
Yeah, that I mean my first concert was Glee, so we don't have to talk about that.
Mine's at least a meme.
I mean mine's also a meme, but
That's actually true.
so a cool point I saw that someone made was that this song could be seen as the antithesis to Love Story, but instead of an accepted proposal, it's a rejected proposal.
That changed a lot. Oh god, now I have to think about it. And she did Love Stories, the first song that she's putting out. Like, oh my gosh.
So let's get into Between the Lines. So you can think about this more while I just blow your mind with these lyrics. So I'm going to just read them verbatim and then make my comments.
Gotcha.
You booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there in this hurt, bustling crowds or silent sleepers, or as she says it, boostling crowds. You're not sure which is worse. So the story starts with the character alone on the train, not the narrator, but the love interest, just wanting to sit there in their hurt and reflect. I'm just going to use he pronouns because it's going to make it easier to label for me. But he can't decide if it's better to be around a ton of people, which basically show us that the world has still moved on, even though his heart's broken, or to be alone in a sleeper car with nothing but his thoughts. So it's kind of like which is worse.
It's interesting because like it's which is worse, not even like which is the better option to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's which is worse than that. I've been thinking this all day though. When you hear the beginning of a song and it immediately references a night train, is it possible to not think of Don't Stop Believing?
He
Am
took
I the
the
only one?
midnight train.
Go anywhere. Like,
Especially because that's the first line.
right? Like I've been thinking about that all day where like
That's
there's
so
no
funny.
way. I think this is a high concept here. I'm just gonna loft out there, and I'll talk about it more when we break down Gold Rush. I think '80s rock had a big influence on this album and the previous. And I don't know what the National or Aaron Dessner's influences are, but I'm gonna pull that out and
Hmm.
talk more about that. But I think that is like a not like I doubt she went, no, I've been listening to a lot of Don't Stop Believing lately. Let me take that. But that is like a pivotal, like that is one of the most like ubiquitous opening lines. It took the midnight train going anywhere.
Hmm.
You booked the night train for a reason. I don't know, just a
I
fun
did not.
little.
Yeah, I did not think of that. That's a very interesting connection.
That's Devin saying, I didn't think of that. You're wrong.
Oh my god, no. Just because I use the word interesting to describe some things I don't like doesn't mean that's the case always.
All right.
Okay. And then it goes, because and now we're in the narrator's perspective again, dropped your hand while dancing, aka a hand in marriage, dropping a hand. Left you out there standing, crestfallen on the landing, champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, my picture in your wallet. Your heart was glass, I dropped it. Champagne problems. Could also be a Coney Island reference. Did I close my fist around something delicate? Did I shatter you?
I feel like that line, I've heard it somewhere before. I'm sure it's from other songs, but like there's got to be a Your Heart Was Glass, I Dropped It kind of lyric in her discography somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like there, it has to be. There's no way that this is the first time we're hearing that.
Yeah, I think of delicate and I think of mirror ball when it comes to glass and
Mm,
delicate things.
mm.
So this is actually just describing the actual proposal moment. They're dancing, he proposed, she declined, strapping his hand, and subsequently his heart.
So this is the chorus,
Yes.
and the chorus changes throughout the
Mm-hmm.
song. Like we mentioned, happens a lot in folklore. One quick thing I will note before we go into the next second verse: does anyone else? And I say this like there's anyone else on this call that can answer me. Sing Champagne Problems like Droopy the dog. Champagne Problems. Like just like
I don't sing it that like that, but I do sing it low. Like there's
I
people.
sing it like the saddest ho hum person in the Champagne Problem. Like I don't like the way she says problems. I don't.
Mm.
I think it's laughable and it pulls me out of the song a little bit. So that's why I always sing it like a meme, and I don't like that I do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's been a lot
I'm
of
sorry.
sopranos, just like people who sing higher registers on TikTok, who are just like singing along and then they get to it and they can't hit those notes. So they're like, champagne problem. It's like people just physically can't sing along. And I'm like, this is what altos thriving right now.
That's okay. I can't sing along to literally anything. So
Then we get to the next verse. You told your family for a reason. You couldn't keep it in. Your sister splashed out on the bottle. Now no one's celebrating. So he was really excited to tell his family he was proposing that night. They were all in on it. Splashed out could mean that the sister either spent a lot of money on the bottle or that she was drunk. She kind of spilled the beans that he got rejected. Just being drunk, splashed out.
that is one of my favorite phrases Taylor has used in a song. It is so like it paints such a great picture. To
Mm-hmm.
me, it means drunk. Just when I first heard it, I thought your sister, she's splashed out, she's gone.
Yeah.
But we looked it up, and it's actually British slang. I didn't know that.
Mm.
So Joe's influence coming in horde.
I wonder if he's the one who wrote that lyric.
It's got to be right. Like Taylor doesn't know that line. But Dom Perignon, the next line is a very, very expensive bottle of champagne. So it works kind of both ways, really.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't even think about it as the sister spilling the beans that he got rejected. That's insane.
Well, because then you get to the line of your hometown skeptics called it. So it's who is she spilling the beans to?
I love that. Oh
So
my
Don
gosh.
Perignon,
Okay.
you brought it. No crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it champagne problems. You had a speech, you're speechless, love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason, champagne problems. So this could be like describing him walking into like the next room over with all his friends and family after just getting brutally rejected. No one's applauding, no speech is given. The narrator saying I couldn't give a reason could be about potentially just these mental health issues that are kind of hinted throughout the song.
Well, she says like in one of the songs, just like you don't know the answer until someone's on their knees and asks you. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. It's not even that like I don't want to or like anything like that. It's just I knew in that moment, no, and
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't have a reason. It's just the answer is no.
Yeah.
Ow.
So then we get to the bridge, the long bridge. Is your Midas touch on the Chevy door? So, fun fact before I get into the actual meeting, I thought Midas was like the car repair place. So I was like, oh, he's just really handy. Because
Oh
I
my
didn't
god.
realize that Midas wasn't like a national chain of car, just mechanics. But Midas,
You've never heard of King Midas?
no. So I'm really bad at Greek mythology. So King Midas is from Greek mythology. Anything he touched turned to gold. He made like a wish upon it, but then ended up regretting it, which kind of cues into Gold Rush, which is also about this cursed richness.
That's an awesome. I didn't think of that. I
Mm-hmm.
did know who King Midas is because I read a book called The Chocolate Touch,
Oh.
which is the same thing except everything this kid touches turns into chocolate.
Mm.
But I didn't think of that. Like it does cue right into Gold Rush, and Gold Rush is like once everyone touches something, you don't it sours it. That's insane. I like
Mhm.
that. I like that a lot.
November flush and your flannel cure. This lyric I could not figure out for the life of me, but just like November flush could be just a cold November.
Your
Flannel to
cheeks get
keep,
all bloody.
yeah. Um, Flannel to keep her warm as a cure. And apparently there was this old tale kind of tying into folklore that a red flannel could cure you. So it's like a flannel cure.
Thank God I got one for Christmas. Oh my gosh.
There you go. Um,
One thing that's interesting, my friend keeps pointing this out to me and keeps asking me if she can come on the podcast to talk about it because she is very big into supernatural.
yes.
And apparently there's a huge conspiracy going on in the supernatural community that this couplet here is referencing Destiel, which is the main character, the two of the main characters ship
Oh
together
my
or something along
gosh.
those lines. I'd be
Listen,
remiss if I didn't know if I didn't mention it. I haven't seen a lot of. I'm not a huge supernatural. I saw like the first 8 seasons, but
to
so
to
I don't understand this. Oh,
I don't
but there's a Chevy. There's a Chevy, right? That's the
it's
whole
a Chevy
thing.
Impala.
Yeah, Chevy Impala.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, so here's the thing. I don't know which friend told you this, but no, my parents are huge Supernatural fans, and then because of that, they got me into the show, and then I binged all of it up until the season finale lately.
You binged 15 seasons of Supernatural?
It took like a year. It took a long time. And then they had that big break, so like there was also
That's
that part.
impressive.
I
I'm
mean,
impressed.
that could be I mean, I don't know if Taylor Swift's a Supernatural fan. I think that's just something that's a cute little nod, like, oh, Chevy and then flannel, because the main characters do wear flannels. All right.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Interesting.
But that's the thing about Taylor. Her lyrics can mean anything. Whatever you want them to mean, sweetie.
Exactly. Sure thing, Grandma. The next line, this dorm was once a madhouse. I made a joke. Well, it's made for me. So,
Love this line.
this Taylor mentioned that they were college sweethearts. So, being in a dorm, that's a typical college tradition. Madhouse can mean, oh, this dorm was just wild and crazy. But then the narrator of the song believes it was made for her with like these mental health issues, kind of like self deprecating humor. Like, oh, this dorm was a madhouse. Yeah, it was made for me.
I
Mad.
think, yeah, like it means like, because like a madhouse is another way to describe an asylum or
Mhm.
like, or mental health facility. So like, it's just a double meaning on it. Like in college, you use, and she mentions this, but you use words that like have like this big meaning, but you use them for smaller things. I love this line so much because it does paint mental health in the exact light that you see it in.
Mhm.
Every single friend that I have that's dealing with anxiety, depression, anything like that will jump at the excuse to make a self-deprecating joke. They will joke about their depression. They will joke about their anxiety. They will joke about all of it just in a split second.
Like I didn't make a joke before we started recording. Yes. Okay. Um, we get to the next line, how Evergreen, our group of friends, don't think we'll say that word again. So the name of the friend group could have been Evergreen. Funny enough, there was a dorm at my college called Evergreen.
Was it really?
Hmm. All the dorms were named after just like trees and foliage.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Fun fact, another one was Willow, and that's where I dormed. So
Look at, oh my gosh, why is that not on your Taylor Swift podcasting resume?
I don't know. I just thought of that now. That's really cool, actually. Um, but so she says, don't think we'll say that word again. You would think maybe evergreen, that word, but another word it could be is just the word our group of friends. Don't think we'll say that word again because they won't share anything anymore.
So, is evergreen capitalized in the lyrics, or did you do that?
I forget. It might be
So
capitalized.
I do know like evergreen as a term generally means like what's like just generic.
Hmm.
Like evergreen is just the most common style thing. So I think like this is a point that like it points out to her like I don't think she would ever fit in with his friends. I think like she never liked their friends. She thought they were very basic and didn't really respond to her. So I've been trying to figure out what she means, but I don't think we'll say that word again. I thought maybe friends could be the word. Don't think
Mm-hmm.
I'll ever call them friends again. Uh R is a great one though. Our group of friends I think is
Because it's
right.
don't think we'll say that word again.
Yeah, because it's not our friends, but
Hmm.
they're still yours. They're not mine anymore.
Yeah.
I like that, and I think it's a great dig because it shows like it could be another reason. Because she doesn't give a reason, like she says, she doesn't give a reason why they're not together. But like, just not fitting in with his friend group could be another like it's just another reason why they aren't fit to be married.
Yeah.
There was something that was always wrong. She was an outcast or like didn't fit in the way she wanted to or something along those lines.
Hmm. And then the next line, and soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. So this is just a cool passage of time. You go from November flush to, decking the halls, usually December, Christmas carols, all that kind of stuff. The
I
hall,
love how. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say the halls just could be like the college dorm or the
Mm.
halls of whatever room they're in now where he proposed.
I want to go through each song and see. I feel like she has like the smallest references to winter and specifically Christmas
Hmm.
in some way in like all of these songs. Like I'm just going off of that, but like I feel like I mean obviously 'tis the damn season, but like I feel like there's just something, there's just a little nugget in every song that just makes it feel like this time of month or this time of the year,
Yeah.
which I love.
It's just the imagery of like the darker seasons.
Mm, mm.
Yeah. Then one for the money, two for the show. I never was ready, so I watched you go. Directly translates from the children's rhyme. One for the money, two for the show, three to get ready, and four to go.
I never noticed that. That is so cool.
Hmm.
Oh my god! Because well, didn't she do that with She did it with the cheerleader cheer, right? In Miss Americana, the Heartbreak Prince. What is it like? Oh my gosh, go! She does like the cheerleader chant, like
And I
I
don't
forget
want
what
you
it.
to go.
The go fight win.
Oh,
Because
yes.
I never want to fight.
Hmm.
Like she puts like this very common phrase and then just like puts her own lyrics around it.
There's another one that's like a little more obvious. That's what I thought you were going to go for.
What's
Um,
the other one?
all the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put me together again.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
from the Archer.
She's starting to really play with that. I love when they take something like that. I never noticed because I there's another song that I love that does one for the money, two for the show, but I don't remember if they did three to get ready or four to go, and I
Was it
never heard
Lana?
that before.
I think
It
Lana
was
also did
it was a
something
band
like
called
that.
Mariana's Trench, which I'm
Okay.
not sure anyone knows who they are, but yeah, they
Hipster
did.
Joe over here.
Canadian pop punk bands. Uh that I love that. That's so cool. Anyway,
Mhm.
continue.
That could just be like a fear of commitment. I never was ready, so I watched you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. Could be that proposal kneel. Someone pointed out it's not till someone's on their knee, it's knees. Like, are you begging them to stay, like on both knees?
I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
Hmm.
And horrifying. Oh my gosh.
And then she would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's effed in the head, they said. Mental health stuff could be depression, just any kind of mental illness. But you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred. And then the entire next line, and she'll hold your hand while dancing, never leave you standing, crestfallen on the landing with champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, her picture in your wallet. You won't remember all my champagne problems. And then it repeats. So it's just a parallel to the beginning chorus. The narrator is imagining his life with someone else that he could be happier with. But the saddest part is just like, what happens to her? Like, does she just like, she's like wishing that, kind of like, I'll give you peace by being with someone else. We won't be together. But like, she deserves a happy ending too. But it's just kind of like melancholy in that aspect.
It's interesting. Like I think that what a shame she's effed in the head. Like I think that directly points to champagne problems in that like a lot of people, especially in middle class, look at depression and stuff like that where you show signs or you're depressed, sad or whatever for no reason seemingly, and they just say they like a lot of people in that style, especially like older who don't understand mental illness, just go, you're just being dramatic or get over it or like why are you so there's literally no reason to be sad, why are you sad, blah blah, and they just don't understand it. And people who have depression are like, I know there's no reason for me to be sad, I know there's no reason for me to have the feelings I have, I do not want to have the feelings that I have, I'm not asking woe is me. And that's the other thing too is in this song I don't think she's not asking, she's not saying like woe is me, I'm like oh poor me, I just depressed again, like she's just like it's very upfront about it.
Yeah.
And like
That's just like the saddest part. It's like, girl, you deserve happiness too.
she'll find it one day,
Yeah.
she'll find it one day, he
Uh,
said with no nothing to reference about it, just he thinks so.
but that is the lyrics. Anything you want to point out that I missed?
I mean, you nailed it. The lyrics in this song is so great. There's one thing like that's interesting to me, and I'm just gonna do a quick thing. I've been told about this movie called Melancholia for a while, and it stars Kirsten Dunst, and it's about depression, and it's also set during a wedding.
Mm.
I keep thinking about this movie while I hear this song, even though I've never seen the movie. So I'm gonna watch that movie tonight. You know, yes, I'm gonna put a time on it. I'm gonna watch that movie tonight, and on our next episode, I will relay if it actually relates to this song in any way, shape, or form. So
So you need to watch this movie, you need to listen to Driver's License, and you need to
I
listen to the That's My Wife version of Willow.
gosh, let me just get out the whiteboard. Oh my gosh. All right, so we went through all the lyrics, one of my favorite parts, but there are some interesting things in this song that are not the lyrics. Devon, can you teach me about the music behind these lyrics?
I would love to. Joe, I will go in and explain some of these music things. Honestly, this isn't going to be a super long section today because there's not too much going on with the production value behind it. It's very simple. So the song is 4 minutes and 4 seconds. It's in C major. And really the only instruments are there's a synth bass, piano in the oompa style, which I'll explain in a second, and then acoustic guitar. So what is oompa? Oompa pa, you say?
It's like I think that's the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing, right?
It's just dun 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 dun
Oompa
dun.
loompa doopity-doo.
It just goes in between these like two parts of a chord. So like if
Oh,
you
that's
have
cool.
yeah, so if you have like 3 notes in a chord that you're playing like a C chord, you have your C, E, and G, if I know music at all. So then you would press like the E and G at the same time and then press the C afterwards. So it's like dun 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 dun. Dun. So
Ooh.
basically that throughout most of the song.
Is
There's
that
this
what the Oompa Loompas sing? Is that how,
no.
like, as they go doompa doompa?
Well
Oh,
that,
okay.
yeah, but just you wouldn't add
Okay.
the doopity doo after. Where it just goes into this other part of the song.
Oh, so this is the piano without the doopity doo.
Yes, yes, yes.
All
So
right. Tell me more. I don't know why that made me laugh so much.
it's just the
I'm
casual
sorry.
of it.
I'm
Um,
sorry. Go ahead.
so there's this like 22-second long intro where it's really just the piano. There might be some very, very subtle synth in the background. That's just one bass line, but it's very simple. And then you get into the lyrics. She kind of sings in this mid-range voice, like she's kind of using her head voice a little bit, but it's mostly just like her alto chest voice, especially when she gets to champagne problems. um just very simple piano. So then after the first chorus you start to get that acoustic guitar plucking. It does like arpeggios towards the end of the song, which is just your do 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 do, like up and down the scale. um Harmonies start to come in after the second chorus, or at the second chorus. And then as soon as the chorus ends, you get this echoey, layered, like harmony style, like, just Taylor going off, basically. Just like a
This is
nice
all
little,
stuff I never notice. Like
it just,
it blows my mind.
I mean, that's a big part of the song. You just hear her singing the O's. Like, I can't imitate it because I can't do that. But it sounds very angelic. It sounds like a choir in a way. It sounds like something you'd hear at like a church or like a wedding, which, makes sense for the song and the imagery it's trying to paint. And then I don't know if she meant to do this on purpose, but there's like a 22-second intro, and then it's the same amount of time for the outro, which is just such a cool little nod.
She had to. She
I,
was
I
feeling 22.
she might have been, yeah. And then the thing that I just can't understand, which I caught us, the very end, there's just this really weird piano movement where it's just like someone's just like a little trill at the end.
Why?
It's so cool, but I don't know why.
Like I know like occasionally like songs will just end with like a run up and
Mhm.
down the piano, but like this doesn't feel like that. There's like
It
a
sounds
smaller
like
version of that.
it sounds like someone was like playing a piano somewhere, like a bar, like
She does
wherever.
it twice though too, right? She does like
Yeah.
doesn't she do it twice? Yeah.
Mhm.
So like that's the other thing. Why'd you do it twice? Taylor, what are you doing? Why?
It's
Like
like I've heard that a lot when you just have people like in studio sessions or something, or just like playing to their friends, and they play this really nice piece, and then you just kind of like throw it away at the end. You're like, I'm done. All right. It's
Yeah,
just
that
like
makes.
it's very playful.
But like, why this song of all of them?
Hmm.
Maybe is it like, what's the word? Like denouement, like, or trying to. All right, like, calm down now. Like, you don't have to be so sad.
It's like the end of I forgot that you existed. So yeah.
Yeah, like just like a way to like de-escalate what
Hmm.
was happening, just like make you like reset, like a palate cleanser kind of a thing. Because I mean that happens. Like at the end of the song, you're like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. What?
Snap out of it. You're done
It's
being
not. It
sad
is. It's
now.
like a snap in your face. Like, come on, we have another song to do. Come on. I it has been killing me since the release of this record. I why Taylor? You can't just not talk about it.
But she can, and she hasn't.
Ah, I hate it.
So that
All right.
is all that I have to say really about the song. Like again, music is very just kind of bare bones esque, not really instrumental crazy. Not like Gold Rush, which will be our next song breakdown, where they use a million and one different instruments and people on that song. So this was a very, I think the message of the song was more important than the instruments behind it. So I think when you do a very kind of drawn back, subtle instrumental, it kind of raises the impact of the lyrics more.
I can see that.
Hmm. Like that was the highlight of the song.
I do like it. Definitely feels like she definitely was focused more on the lyrics and the story. I think it was a big part of it. So I can kind of give it a pass for for the the songs, or like for the I can't talk.
It's okay. None of us can.
All right. So, do you have anything to say in closing? Anything about this song that like really like
Makes me want
got
to drink.
you?
Makes me
It,
want to drink champagne.
it kind of really does. Like for no reason, because it's bad. Like I feel bad about it, but like also like I kind it's weird because I feel like I want to celebrate but like be sad.
Hmm.
Celebrate in sadness. This is a perfect New Year's Eve song.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't really have anything. I think like for me, like again, it's one of the middler songs of this album, which is like ridiculous to say. It just shows how many amazing songs on this album, because this is still one of like the best songs she's put out.
Hmm.
Full stop. Just it's one of the better ones. And the bridge, we barely even talked about it, but the bridge is is being argued among fans as like one of the top 5 bridges she's ever put out, which is insane because it's nowhere near as good as the bridge on Tis the Damn Season. But
Yeah,
do
it's
you think
debatable.
do you think this bridge would have topped our top 5 in our bridge episode?
Well, we did it when Evermore came out, so
No, we
we
did it
did it.
right before Evermore came out. Yeah.
Oh,
So we have to do a should have said so down the line to put
yeah.
it
I
in
don't
there, but
know.
it's
Maybe.
tough. It's tough. If you guys haven't heard that episode, we did before Evermore came in our lives. We did a whole episode talking about Taylor Swift's bridges and breaking them down and rating them. And then she dropped like 6 or 7 more incredible bridges in Evermore,
Yeah.
making us have to rethink our previous episodes again. But go give that one a listen. I think it at least makes an honorable mention. Like it's got to be top 10.
Yeah. I
It's at
agree.
least top 10. I don't top 5 is so hard
Hmm.
because I don't know. Maybe hindsight will tell. We'll get down the line. It's hard too because I think our top 5 we loved all of those songs to death, and like it just doesn't have the same pedigree that like Last Kiss or All Too Well has.
Yeah. No way.
So I wanted to spend a little more time talking about the bridge because I know like it's the talk of the town with this album. I think it's very good. I think the curse word bumps it up a lot.
Hmm.
I think it has a lot of impact. Is it a Rancing bridge? Is it a Rancing bridge?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm always afraid to say anything like that because I don't know anything.
Well, just the sheer reaction we had to it too. Like
That's
I
true.
screamed when we first listened to this.
Yeah, it was huge. I and it came right after Willow, which is like this upbeat, positive song, right into this depressing song that just like pounds you and pounds you over the head and then hits you with an F bomb. And the bridge, it reminds me of Cardigan's bridge, where it's just like it just keeps going. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't let you sit and absorb the line that came before it. And
Yep.
then you get the F bomb, and you're like, well, I can't even listen to the rest of this bridge because I just heard that. And how am I gonna, like, what? So I mean, I think we have to sit down with it and see where it falls among them. But I think we have to do that with a lot of these because I will still say "'Tis a Damn Season" is a better bridge, but I know that I'm in the minority on that one because I don't think I've converted you on that yet. I still think you fall
Yeah.
under "This is the best bridge on the album."
I have to think about it because "'Tis the Damn Season" does have really good bridge, but I think that this one tops it a little bit.
So this is your number one bridge on the album?
I would say that.
I can't argue. I can't
Hmm.
argue. I know I'm in the minority. I know this one is insane, one of the better ones. But I think that's it. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
No, I think we're pretty good.
All right. So if you guys liked what you heard in this episode, please be sure to give us a review and a 5-star rating on Apple, or follow us on Spotify or wherever you hear us. We're on every platform for a podcast. If you have a friend that likes Taylor Swift, tell them about us. The fastest way for us to grow this podcast is through word of mouth. So sing our praises. That feels so weird to
Sing
say.
our praises like we sing this bridge. Make sure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We use Instagram the most, but we're at We Need to Calm Down Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. We love reading them. Check us out, check our lovely faces out, except for the days that I feel like I can't put on makeup and then I look like this.
Don't worry, I never put on makeup.
But we're a podcast. It's about the voices.
The voices, which I'm still nervous about my own.
My mother says I have a face for radio.
Jeez.
No, that's like a saying. It's a joke.
It's a rude joke. Oh my gosh! If you have a suggestion for an episode or a therapist for Devon,
I have
please. Please drop us a comment or a DM. This is like the most off the rails outro we've ever had. If you have a suggestion for an episode, drop us a comment or a DM. We love hearing from you guys, and a lot of the episodes that have been mentioned in our DMs, in our comments, everything have actually been made into episodes. So let us know what you guys want to hear.
Yeah, aside from that, thank you for listening to the We Need to Calm Down podcast. We will see you next typical Tuesday. Come back.
We'll be here.